Hey everyone, this is Sean from 8-Bit Shinobi, and today we're bringing back a classic series that I had on my channel that I've been wanting to get back to. It's called the Porkchop Express. We're talking to you about anything and out there. So right now we're gonna do a quick talk about Fanaticon Brockville with my friend Digger, and
Hello.
we're gonna talk about what Digger's got going on for Fanaticon Brockville, and we're gonna talk about a really cool contest that I have. So for those of you that don't know, we are going to be at a convention called Fanaticon, and that's in Brockville. And this video is sponsored by our good friends from JL Cannabis. So if you suffer from pain like migraines and joint pains, they offer you a way, they have a wide variety of products to help you grow your cannabis. They have all sorts of classes that teach you to do it. They have seeds. They have product to make I've seen they've had a thing that a brownie mix that you can use. Really cool. And for our tournament, our friends from Dust Till Dawn Studios.com will be providing will be teaming up with us to give you guys a really cool gift card so you can make your own 3D printed objects or whatever you guys want to print with it. They can do it. So, our tournament, we're going to have a video game tournament. So, we got classic games. We also got games you've never heard of. I probably can't see it very well, but this is the Gundam Versus from the Japanese arcade. We got video games like Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Really fun game to play. And you could come drop down whatever you feel like. Like if you have 50 cents, drop 50 cents. You're entitled to enter the contest, the tournament, and we're going to be giving away gift cards from Took Brewery. So you can win that. Get your own maple beer. This stuff is good. If you want a night out with your family, this is a really good place to go to. We our family recently went there. We ordered they had like a pancake special for their promotion. We had a really good time with the family. We got House of Tard gift cards. If you love comic books and collectibles, we have Entertainment Inc. gift cards that you could win. So, Digger, why don't you tell me a little bit about what you got going on for your event?
So, what I have going on is kind of like a demo booth game day thing
Mm-hmm.
for the basically from the group I run, which is the Ontario Seasonal Series.
Mm-hmm.
That is a community run event, almost entirely community run event, which is a 4 times a year tournament. Uh, so spring, summer, fall, winter, and this repeats every year. What I have going on at Fanaticon is a demo booth. So if you come by, you can see what game that is the OSS for short form is geared towards, which is Final Fantasy Trading Card Game, or FFTCG for short. About other than that, it's just whoever comes by, I'll have a little bit of goodies to give out, like stuff. If I have some extras, like stuff kind of like a drink coaster, like plexiglass. Um, Maybe some card dividers as well that are custom made.
Oh, those are really good. You could never go wrong with that.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Also, there is going to be a cosplayer from Ottawa actually going to be at the booth as well, Lily Demon.
Yeah, I spoke
Uh,
to her. She is very nice.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I wish you can go out to our cosplay picnics a little bit more, but gas and travel, I kind of have to
Yeah. Well,
plan
I've
for it.
always thought of because I'm doing my own comic book series, I'm looking for a cosplayer to cosplay as my Fox Spirit, and I'm always looking for a cosplayer. So,
Yeah, I know she'll be at my booth as well. She'll be doing. Well, she'll have pictures of her in her cosplay. If people want to have her to sign in and whatnot, they pay like $5.
oh, that's
And
pretty cool. Like I
yeah,
know like professional cosplayers charge quite a bit for
yeah,
signings, and that's pretty cool that you could meet a cosplayer like the character.
yeah. She'll be dressing up as Tifa. I have a couple of the TCG. I have a few of the TCG cards that
Mhm.
available. That if they want her to sign it, she can just sign it for them, and they just have it in collection as well.
And I feel like their costumes are so accurate that they're like better than anything that got in the movies that come out
Oh
based
yeah,
on
no, definitely.
like I'm like, why don't they just hire these guys and save billions of dollars? Like how
Right.
much do they charge to get these costumes made? And these people probably like put their life and soul into making this. Like,
Oh yeah, no, I completely agree. I know Lily Demon has done a bit of a mix of the two Tifas. So classic Tifa mixed with remake Tifa, kind of like, okay, here's the outfit,
and
which is kind of clever to be honest.
yeah. We also have the Final Fantasy remake. So if anyone wants to get nostalgia, we also have it on the original one on the PS1 Classic. So any requests, you come to my table, you want to enter my tournament. We'll also have uh, a console set up for a tournament. So it's gonna be free for all for everyone. A whole lot of fun. Me and Lance, we did Mortal Kombat last year, the new one.
Mm.
It's a whole lot of fun because I find it's for people like me that don't know how to do all the special moves. You just push the triggers and it does it for you.
Yeah, there is a fighting game that is hard. It's rare these days. You can get it digitally on PlayStation Network Japan with a Japanese account. Anywhere else you can, which is a offshoot fighting game from Capcom, which is Rival Schools.
Yeah, I know. My friend, he said his brother was in Japan, and they have like stores where the retro games are just like everywhere. Like
Yeah,
it's
I think
like,
that'll be not Tokyo, that's Kyoto, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, one of their districts that's entirely like video game related.
Mhm.
Akihabara, I believe it's called in Tokyo.
Uh,
Is that
if
it?
it's in Tokyo, I think Akihabara is more what's in for the crowd.
Yeah.
I think there's another district within Tokyo or Kyoto that's more retro and old school stuff.
Yeah, I like I know it off the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it for the life of me. But I know that's one of them because I watched a video where a guy went through the whole district,
Yep.
and they've got like so many different types of video game stuff. It's
Oh god, yeah.
ridiculous. So we're gonna start talking about our good friend Sonic the Hedgehog, and by Sonic the Hedgehog, we're gonna be talking about the retro Sonic the Hedgehog. So I'm just gonna put up a video on screen. Hopefully, YouTube doesn't strike this down. If you're looking, we are. This is which one is it? Share. It share screen. Sorry, I haven't done this in for a while. I feel like I've been super busy. Okay, there we go. Windows Chrome tab. So this is the one-off series you're telling me about. The Sonic Underground. Can you
Yep.
can you see it right
I
now?
can see that one, yeah.
All right, cool. I'm just gonna blow it up. Does that?
born, the throne awaits. A seer
Oh, nice.
warns of a deadly fate.
This
Give
has
up,
like a
you
theme
children,
song and everything.
separate. Bide your time, lie in wait. Sonic Underground. Sonic Underground. They made a vow their mother will be found.
All right, I just stopped it there just in case YouTube doesn't like that.
Oh yeah, for like 10 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember back in the day there was a Sonic series out there based off of the video game with what's his name, Jamal White, who plays Steve Urkel. I think I said that right.
Yeah, Jamal. Yeah. He played in both series. I
Yeah,
think he played
so
Underground too.
yeah, there was the series that was more serious and dark and gritty, where they're fighting Robotnik, and he took over the whole thing. Like, it was really cool. Then they
Yeah.
had like a more cartoony one, which is very wacky and out of this world. And
Yeah.
I believe
They were
he
both airing at the
also
same time.
yeah, he also gave PSA messages from what I remember.
Oh, they kind of became a meme after a
Yeah,
while.
the only reason I know about that is because I watched the Nostalgia Critic, where he constantly plays that clip. If someone tries to touch you, get away from there.
Yep. I haven't seen videos from Nostalgia Critic for a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen him or the Nintendo Angry Video Game Nerd.
Yeah, that's true. They used to be huge on YouTube. I don't know if they
Yeah.
still are or not.
Well, I know James is always creating more videos, but it seems like he's more doing more serious videos. Like, I
Uh,
remember the last one he did. They did a walk into the last Blockbuster, which I thought was epic because I remember when I was dating my wife, she would finish work late, and guess what was open late? Blockbuster. So
yeah.
I hung out at Blockbuster, picked up their movies, and I loved it. You can get like 5 movies for like $10 just because they're
Right.
older. So that's what I did. So now back to Sonic the Hedgehog. What I really liked about the series was it was for kids, but it was also do I have anyone in the chat room? It was also serious because you had like episodes where Sonic has to deal with the fact that his uncle, who was basically his father, got turned into a robot. And then he's having to try to save him, but at the same time, he's a robot working for Robotnik. So it was
Yeah.
some pretty deep episodes, and then you had the SWAT bots, which were once humans, from what I remember. Do you remember much about the SWAT bots and the animal ones, like the bee?
Oh yeah. 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 Apparently, also the comics of the classic Sonic from like that type of series was a lot darker too.
Yeah, I also heard with the new movie that came out, because they introduced Knuckles, who wasn't introduced in the animated series that I know of, because I'd never finished it. I think I watched the first season.
Knuckles was actually in Underground.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in Underground. He was, well, the gullible echidna.
Yeah. So I heard that the comic book series creator who wrote the comic book based off of Knuckles' backstory and his father, that they didn't pay him for having that character in the movie. Are you familiar? Have you heard of that?
I haven't really heard of that per se.
Yeah, it came up on my feed, when you see those feeds, you
Yeah,
kind of click on it and you're like, I'm interested because you hear a lot about these stories where comic creators that worked on these characters that are now in movies like Deadpool and Batman and all that, how the comic creators are getting a cut out of that because you think about it, these movies are making billions and they're making billions off of creators' ideas. So what do you think about that?
That's. I want to say that that's. I have my own points of view, but honestly, these days it's almost political with stuff like that. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
we try to keep it casual on this channel.
yeah,
No
I'm like,
drama
well,
here.
that's kind of going down a road that's like, this is a topic.
I think that's why in the early '90s we got creators like what's his face that made Image. The guy that made Image, he worked on. I
Okay.
know he did Venom and Spawn.
Oh,
Tommy
Todd
Harmon.
McFarlane. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know a lot of creators are going independent. I've had a few of them on my channel. I was talking to one artist who worked on Conan the Barbarian,
Oh wow.
and he's working on his own series, which is a character. He's like a master thief. He's slick, and it's like a police state, which is pretty far out there. It's really cool. Like he's the kind of guy that if someone double crosses him and he has to, he's gonna waste the guy. So I thought it reminded me of those retro spy James Bond Stallone movies, like all
Okay.
wrapped on in one. I know I'm getting off topic here, but
Yeah.
this is how these streams go. We just basically shoot the shit, and if we get off topic, we get off topic.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell me a little bit more about Sonic Underground? I haven't really watched it. What's the plot around?
It sadly only had, I think, one season. Sad times. I used to have the DVD collection, which came with 2 different discs of the soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Because in this show, they per episode or every second episode, they actually have a musical number in there too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it's from goofy, lighthearted to hard rock or otherwise. I saw on the collector's edition they had an interview with the music writers.
Mm-hmm.
The team behind the show gave them, obviously there was a direction, but like within this direction, have at it. You have a lot of creative freedom. So like, people are like, sure.
So does it follow the kind of comic book verse from I believe it was the Archie comics that they did?
Archie comics. I don't think it does. It's kind of its own little universe because in this, Sonic has 2 other siblings, Sonia and Manic. Sonia uses the keyboard and she has a motorcycle. Mm-hmm. Sonic has the 3-necked guitar. And Manic's the drummer. Manic's the green one with like the spiked hair over top. Sonia's she has more tough of the hair, kind of like an early concept of Amy. Mm-hmm. And then Sonic has this thing. What the premise was for the actually says in the full opening if people want to take a look at it for later. Sonic, Sonia, and Manic's mother was a queen. Like she had her kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
But one of their psychic seers saw that there was definitely something going to happen. It's going to turn everything all chaos like. So he's like, separate your kids. This may not be what you want, but it's the best thing we can do right now. So she separated each of the kids to a separate family within, what was it, Mobius? I think that's the planet.
Yeah, I believe that's what it was called in the animated series, Mobius.
Yeah. So Robotnik still takes over, but he also has his, like in every sort of dictator like thing, they have his supporters, which have more free reign, but they're very high class.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to do that. Blah, blah, blah. I don't have to worry. I just have to kiss Robotnik's boot. just
Did
to get by.
did they use the same voice actor from the original series, Jim Cummings?
I don't. Huh. I want to say like the wacky Robotnik or the dark Robotnik from the classic series.
It was the Dark Robotnik where he had the red eyes, and then when he came in, it was all like that serious music.
Yeah, I don't think it
All the
was that
troops
type
would
of
line
voice,
up,
but
and then he had like his robotic bird that had its own personality.
I don't think it was that type of voice. But it still did. He still did his job.
But it's
And then
the
they
you said it's the same Sonic voice actor from that, right?
I
Am I correct?
think so. It sounds like it, but although from what I remember, they might have got someone different. But I think the same voice actor from the first two series did come back to reprise his role.
Yeah. We'll
Um,
check on that later to confirm it. We're
yeah,
doing this kind of late, so we're not gonna fact check that right now, but we're pretty sure that that's him.
yeah. Knuckles did make an appearance in there, so which is a good thing.
So
Uh,
did he have any of the what were his powers like?
it seemed it was basic. He did dig holes, which is kind of on par. He
Mhm.
still punched, which is that's Knuckles per the thing. He was I want to say he was almost kid-like. That's a pun waiting to happen. But he seemed almost like he's just gullible, but it's with the older, more update versions. Knuckles is the more gullible meathead that has a heart of gold, but he gets swayed very easily because he doesn't put too much thought into the reason behind it, like i.e. Eggman / Robotnik.
So have you seen the movie yet? We're not gonna
I
get
haven't
into
seen
spoiler
I haven't
territory.
seen the two movies, but I'm like, I'll watch it eventually.
Yeah, so spoiler warning, I feel like that was the same character that was in the movie because he
Oh, the
was
more
like,
up to date
yeah,
version.
he was like this serious warrior character, and
Yeah, it's more up to date.
Robotnik tricks him.
There is another rendition, like an anime rendition of like the '90s, early 2000s of Sonic. It was in Japan.
Hmm.
It was when they first introduced Metal Sonic, and Knuckles was in there. He
Oh,
had like
was
the
that
cowboy hat.
animated movie where they introduced Metal Sonic and
Yep.
they went on these wacky adventures?
Yeah, that was pretty much it. And Knuckles had like his cowboy hat on and everything else. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that might have
I've
been the
seen
first one
clips of
before
it.
Underground.
I've seen clips of it, but I haven't seen it. But it kind of reminds me of that Sonic CD game from
Yeah.
like just like the style and the
I think it's the same
music.
animators, actually.
Yeah, it was like pretty cool because I'm like, I got it on like when it first came out. Like we had the old cartridges, and I was all about the cartridges back then. I'm like nothing's better than the cartridges, and then I got this CD that went in my computer. I'm like, oh my god, this is like the best Sonic ever. It's got like this
Right.
musical thing. You got like all these new boss levels with the
Right.
giant mech suit and the
Funny
death.
enough, actually, Sonic, almost all of up to date current since Sonic Forces and down,
Mhm.
Sega has released all that music on Spotify.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, so I'm like, ooh. So that I think that also includes Sonic Racing, like the original one,
Hmm.
and Sonic CD, like the opening for that one, like
Yeah,
the
I
whole
think like
song.
I really like the 90s retro cartridge songs that you get.
Oh yeah,
Like like in the movie Scott Pilgrim, they try to replicate the that unique retro video game sound when they do
yeah.
the universal thing. I thought that was the coolest thing. I'm like before Sonic, I'm like, this is as close as we got to a video game movie where they had the whole punching pow 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 KO thing.
Yeah, which actually, honestly, is probably one of the better of the video game movies that was released at the time. When
Mhm.
honestly, there was almost a slew of bad ones
Yeah.
at the time.
Well, I know that the old Mortal Kombat movies are pretty cheesy. Like I
It,
know the first one has a place in my heart. Like it was cheesy, but it was good.
it, yeah, no, I can agree with that. It was so cheesy that it was good type deal, right?
Yeah, and then the second one went off the rails completely.
Yeah.
But that was video game movies back then. They're like I think that if you watch some of the directors things where I know they did Batman, they're like, "Oh, it's just a kids movie. Just have fun with it."
Huh.
That's what it
Huh.
seems like.
Well, early Batman was was way more kid friendly than it is now.
Oh yeah, like if you watch the old Batman the animated series where all the people had like grins from the Joker, they didn't die. It was just like they were like intoxicated with the poison.
You never see them get better, nor do you see them die. So it's very
It's
much
kind of like
implied.
implied, like if you watch the what do you call it? The Mask of the Phantasm, where his
Mhm.
old friend is strapped into the chair and he has like that grin, so you assume that's how he died.
Well, that's originally what the laughing gas does.
And I remember I'm like, I thought cartoons back then were so much more violent. And you
Well,
watch them, they're not as violent. Like the if you rewatch the Spider-Man series, most of the times he doesn't throw punches. He just like webs them up.
are you talking about 60s Spider Man or 90s?
The 90s, the one with the
Okay.
3D and the guitar.
Oh, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No. Yes, he does throw a few punches to be honest, but
It's
I
it
think it's only when he's well, he really does it only when he has symbiote on him.
Yeah, I remember that one. He threw the rhino, the not the shocker. He
Yeah,
almost
it was
threw the
Shocker. Yeah,
shocker off the building. And it's very
yeah.
interesting how 90s cartoons kind of got away with that.
They
They're
really pushed the bill as much as they could.
Yeah, like I really liked how in Sonic where they used the power ring as like he got like juiced up from it and then it made him like be able to knock everything over like he was almost like in
Oh
that
yeah,
invincible mode like when he gets that in the video game, you know, that
yeah.
temporary invincibility.
Oh, that's the Chaos Ring, or sorry, the Chaos Emeralds.
No, yeah, no, I'm talking about, the you know when you get all those power ups that you jump on, and there's
Oh,
one
you're talking about
with
that one.
like stars around him,
Yeah,
and you're temporarily invincible. That's what it felt like to me when he had the
yeah.
power ring.
Actually, neat little tidbit of Sonic.
Yeah.
Originally, the Chaos Emeralds, when they were first introduced, had 8, not 7. I think it was either
Oh,
6, not 7, or 8, not 7.
wasn't that how they created the power rings? That it came from the emerald, if I remember correctly. It
You had to go
came
through
from
like
some
do a
sort of
certain.
machine.
You had to do a certain requirement to get to the level to get the Chaos Emerald.
Yeah. No,
But they teach you the 7.
I'm talking about the series every time they got like a power ring,
Oh
it
yeah.
came
Oh, the
out of
series.
some sort of device.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe it was a Chaos Emerald if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I don't think it was a Chaos Emerald
It's
at the
been
time.
it's been forever since I've seen it.
Yeah. I know
But
they. It
you
was
know
after
also
this.
Chuck
Sorry.
made it. That was a whole thing. That he
Yeah.
invented the power rings and he invented the shoes that could keep up with Sonic's speed.
Oh, the light shoes.
Yeah, the red ones.
Wait. Oh. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
in the game, when you hit the shoe button and it makes them go faster.
Yeah.
That it was pretty close to the game if you think about it.
Okay. Yeah.
And I feel like the newer movies, not getting into spoiler territory anymore, that I feel like they really emulated the super speed. Like it felt like the the movie with the X-Men with Quicksilver.
Oh,
It
yeah.
felt kind of like they upgraded his powers in that.
Okay. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that I like. I mean, Sonic X, actually, Sonic X, the more anime one that ran for multiple seasons, they did use that Power Ring concept a bunch of times in the show, in earlier shows.
Yeah, I remember that, and they also did the whole Golden Sonic versus Shadow Golden Sonic, which I
So,
thought was
yes,
pretty
so
cool.
Super Shadow and Super Sonic, yeah.
Yeah.
They also touched on Sonic using the negative energy of the Chaos Emeralds and going Dark Sonic for a bit.
Oh, cool. I
Yes,
haven't
he.
seen that. I know it was on like I think Amazon or something, and I was
Yeah.
watching it with my daughter cuz she really likes video games. I take her to House of Tark, so if you guys win my contest, it's a whole lot of fun. We basically go there and play pinballs for hours on end.
Pinballs, yes.
Yeah, they have. We also have the Sonic collection that
Okay.
has all the games in it, like all the old games, like Sonic 1, 2, 3, the pinball.
Ooh. Oh. What's the Tetris version of Sonic that they came out with? Like,
The Mean Bean Machine.
yeah, yeah. I used to play that as a kid.
Yeah, that one was a lot of fun. Where I believe that was where they got the inspiration from the characters from that other Sonic show. Where
Oh yeah,
you got the character with the drills, the
yeah,
drills for his hand, and the robot with the beak.
yeah. So I think it was Birdbot and something like that. I forget.
Yeah, Dr. Robotnik made them to finally defeat Sonic.
Doesn't exactly work, but
Yeah. So, do you have any episodes that you remember from the original Sonic? Any
the original Sonic. Eh? That's
You
actually
could
kind of
take
hard.
anything from any series where we're not sticking to one topic.
Oh, any series of Sonic. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, any series of Sonic Underground, eh? Or any episode. I actually have to check because there's my memory for the episodes really uh, falls on which song do I like the most.
Well, just go with it. Pick what song you like.
Oh, come on, headphones. Stop being drunk. Okay. Let's see what. I'm just doing a quick thing on my end. Give me a second.
Yeah.
So if I can spell.
Well, while we're waiting, do you remember that episode where Robotnik created a speed robot to trap Sonic, kind of like that episode of what's his name, Robin Hood, where the sheriff traps Robin by using his ego for a contest.
Oh yeah, I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
That one was pretty cool. Like it's just interesting how they can use ideas from other things. And if you really think about it, all our superheroes and everything are based off of like mythology, if you think about it. Like if people are saying superheroes aren't gonna last, we've been we've been writing about superheroes since the dawn of time because it's my opinion that I believe that we need kind of like a symbol that good can overcome evil to you know, make us be able to get through our challenges through the day, like a character that you can relate to.
Yeah. Let's see. Trying to find.
They're still going through.
Yeah, there's actually a full soundtrack on YouTube here.
Oh, nice. I love YouTube. I feel like I don't know what's going on with YouTube lately, but I feel like it's more friendly of what YouTube used to be, where you can watch full shows of your retro show. Like we've been watching Sonic the Hedgehog on YouTube, and we've watched GI Joe. And
Okay.
yeah, I try to introduce my daughter to it, but some of the times she gets in those moods where she's like, I don't want to watch it because it's new. She's like, I just want to watch this. And I'm like, but sweetie, we were just playing this game and you loved it. That's kids for you.
I think I got the episode. Okay, so there's a couple of songs on here. I forgot the like their PSAs were basically in the songs for each episode.
Oh, nice. So, kind of like the other animated series where they did like messages in the songs in
Yeah,
the
the message for Underground was more or less in the song itself.
Oh, yeah. I find that when they do that, it's a lot more clever when they hide it so that you like, you don't think about it. It just like hits you. You're like, "Oh my God. That's a really bad idea to do something like that." Like when like I said in that episode where Sonic's ego gets the better of him and he goes into Robotnik's trap where it's just very good storytelling where
Yeah.
it's not like like some I'm not gonna like bash on writers because I'm a writer that they're not as good with the message where it's like in your face, like where it kind of feels like they grab you and just yell at you, this is my
Oh yeah.
message, this is my message, where back in the day I feel like writers were a lot more clever with the messages, like
Because
I
it had to stick with kids, right? Like it had to
yeah,
be.
like I remember Ninja Turtles it was all about family and how anger can hurt you inwards, like when he has the heart to heart with Raphael. And I'm like, I think that's why those the 90s was really great for us because we had like real care. Like I felt like I was like Raphael because I was angry all the time, and I kind of felt like Sonic because he was this cool dude. He was really fast. He could take on anything that Robotnik could throw at him. And and I really thought Sonic was the fastest thing. I'm like, he kind of is when he turns into Golden Sonic.
Yeah, which
And
has very limited for the amount of rings that he has.
yeah. Well, that's why I like Sonic Mania. There's this point in the game where you can actually turn him into Golden Sonic and he fights
Actually,
robot.
funny thing about Sonic Mania and Forces are in the same thing.
Oh, neat.
Because Mania at the end, I don't know if you played all the way to the end of Mania.
Yeah, I have.
So you know when Sonic goes into like some sort of like portal thing at the end,
Mm-hmm.
he's ported into Forces.
Oh, so it's like a continuation?
Yeah, and then after a while, he goes. Well, it's been like a while, so it's spoiler warning is kind of not really apparent right now. But he does go back, but he meets with the modern day Sonic. So
I
each
remember
time,
is that the one where he has to fight like Metal and all the robots that Robotnik created? I think I've
uh,
seen a video. I don't know if it's real or not.
Infinite is the main. Well, Robotnik obviously, but Infinite is the main villain that you have to face a bunch of times in Forces. It's one where you can make your own Sonic character, which is, hey, DeviantArt people, you like having Sonic characters and custom Sonic characters? Here's the game for you.
that's why I love the games. They were so much more creative, like
Mhm.
playing like the old like some of the older ones where you had like different game mechanics where you walked around in a 3D environment. I'm like, I didn't appreciate it as much back then, but when you revisit the game and you see how, like, you're like some games have aged like poorly, and some games
Yeah.
you go back in and you're like, man, I was really missing out. Because I'm trying to collect all these retro games so that people can play it. I really like it because I find that kids today, and like, they come with their parents and stuff, and I feel like it's like games are more than just something that we play. I feel like it connects us. I
Yeah.
see like a big brother or father, they come on here, and
Mhm.
they're playing Sonic the Hedgehog or Mario, because this thing plays all the games. So one that was really popular, we did the old beat 'em up games with
Okay.
Captain America and the Avengers.
Okay.
So I really enjoyed those games because, and unlike the fighting, I really love fighting games. Like, I'm a gamer that loves everything.
Mhm.
But I feel like the co-op games, you could team up with your little brother or sister and just like go through the game. I remember going over to my best friend's house. I just got Sonic 2 and the manual, and
Mhm.
we put in all the cheat codes to get Golden Sonic and skip all the levels. And you can do that in Sonic Mania, which is pretty cool. You can use the code that allows you to like basically turn Sonic into Mario Maker, where you can put gold rings everywhere. So when you're
Oh
fighting
God.
Metal Sonic, you just gather all the rings and turn into Golden Sonic and just beat his ass down.
Okay. Um, for I know for Forces, the people that did the Silver's theme in Sonic 06,
Yeah.
uh, they were in charge of doing the whole soundtrack for the game. Which is like, oh, okay. I think for the new Sonic All Star Racing or whatever that came
Hmm.
out semi recently, Crush 40 was hired to come back and do the theme song, Green Light Ride.
Oh, cool. I feel like I'm
Yeah,
learning new things all the time, and that's cool. Never stop learning things.
no, exactly. So, I mean, if you're
Like,
not learning something new every day, you're not learning much.
yeah, I feel like when you got your own kids, is you're learning with them. And my kid is so bright. We're just out there. I have my little pool outside, and
Mhm.
she's looking outside. There's this little bird. My daughter's like only 5 at the time, and she's
Okay.
like, "Daddy, that bird is camouflaged." I'm like, I didn't even teach her that. I'm like, how is she picking up these things? And just like I said, connecting with them with the games, where she's like, "Daddy, I want to play Sonic with you." So we each take turns playing Sonic.
Mhm.
And she's a little mad at me because I got the new Call of Duty's Black Ops, and I play it all the
Oh,
time. And she's like, I don't like it. I'm like, I'm sorry, sweetie. I just want to play it. I don't feel. I'm like, here, you sit down on with your iPad and watch this. You need me. I'm here. So I pause the game, and we watch like The Simpsons or something, because she wants to watch that. She's like, I can't watch this no more. I'm like, I can hear it. I'm like, I'm not gonna be one of those bad dads that just ignores my kids. So we watch The Simpsons together, and it's a,
that
it's a
that was
lot
the
of
thing when
fun.
we were kids. It's like, parents, let's go. I have stuff to do. Plop, put on TV. There you go. There's your entertainment.
Well, when we were kids, my parents, they basically, their whole house was a forest. So my parents were like, go nuts. So basically, I would get up at 6 o'clock. I'd go biking around the my house area.
Yeah.
It was pretty big. and then I'd go to school, and then I'd come back home, and then I'd do the same thing, bike around the you know, the road up and down, and
Yeah.
bike into town a couple of times, and then I'm like, I don't get it. How do kids say they have no energy? I'm like, when I was a kid, I was like that.
Yeah. Well, it was either Super Nintendo or whatever game console I had, TV, and
Mhm.
just play on well, the drum set down in the basement where I lived.
And back then you couldn't pause games. You had to keep playing. If mom said it was time to eat, you paused that game and came back to it.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's no viable way to save it and go back after you turn it off. No, you have to pause, go back, and sometimes the game will freeze. You have to restart it, take the
Yeah.
cartridge out, try to blow on it, then put it back in, make sure it works. Okay, you can go back.
You know what I think? Have you ever seen that Robot Chicken where the cartridges are actual sentient beings, and they're
Oh
like, pop your cartridge? It's like, why? I won't work. And then
yeah.
the kid's like, the game's not working. He's like, he's like, oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I remember like we had like when I was a teenager, I had like my own TV set up, and we got like all the satellite channels for the first time. So I'm watching all these old shows that I haven't seen in forever, like Teletoon Retro had like X-Men and all that. I'm like, I'm not, because we didn't have cable, the only time we'd get to watch those Sonic shows were when
Yeah.
we went to my grandmother's in Ottawa. We'd come into town. They had
Okay.
cable, and we'd watch it. And then
Yeah.
they used to tape it for us. So they
That's
just
nice.
basically run the tape, and then we'd go over, pick it up, and I'd watch like I think I remember the episode specifically. It was the one where Robotnik invented this robot machine that was both organic and metallic. So nothing they used could hurt it. So Sonic had to use his brain to find a way to overcome it. It was with the Wolf Pack freedom fighters when they started to find all the different animal freedom fighters.
Okay.
It kind of reminded me of the original game where you had to fight, you had to free all the animals from the containment units.
Yeah. Yup. I think that reminds me of another part. But you do actually revisit some of those zones actually from the original games and Forces.
Yeah, that's what I really liked. Have you ever watched Dorkly, where they recreate those Sonic things? And
Yeah,
there's one.
they had a long series of Sonic for Hire.
Yes, that was really really funny. Where they swap the characters, and Luigi is with Sonic the Hedgehog because he's tired of Mario, and he's like, So does this Sonic have a princess that needs to be saving? No, Sonic only wants to save woodland creatures." And they went on all these wacky missions where they did like Old Man Sonic, which was pretty funny, where they had like all the made up characters from fanfics, like Emperor Greg, and
Oh
Sonic
yeah.
lost his tail, so he had to use another area. I'm not saying that for our kids in the audience, but it was funny.
Yeah.
If you're old enough, watch Dorkly Old Man Sonic. It is hilarious. Or the have you seen the ones where the um the video game promoter has a conversation with the characters?
Oh yeah.
And he
Uh,
has the one with Samus from Metroid, where he's like, "Okay, we're gonna have you through the whole game dressed as a dude, and then at the end of the game, we're gonna shatter their preconceptions that you were a chick the whole time. And if they beat it real fast, then we'll have you in a bikini." And she's like, "That undermines everything you said." It's like, "Hey, if you want to sell units, you gotta show digits."
oh my. Yeah, that's I hate to say it, that sounds bad, but that was kind of time back in the day. That
Yeah.
sounds real bad.
Or like when they did one where like characters like Batman, that their origins aren't so tragic after all, where
Yeah.
he's like, "I'm an orphan and I grew up alone with my butler. When he made filet mignon, I'd cry into my silk sheets."
Does that, well, it's like on the Batman thing, like with his actual son, Damien.
Yeah.
Yeah, Damien will go to Alfred going, "You're not my father." Alfred's response, "And pray to God that I'm not."
Yeah.
So I was like, oh.
Yeah, I really thought that Dorkley gave me like a really like, yeah, he's not that, there's nothing special about him being an orphan. Or the one where they show that they walk down Crime Alley, and he's like, "Dude, I'm the richest guy in this crime-ridden city. You don't think I'd bring a full security team with me?" You'd think that, like, have you seen the Teen Titans Go movie? My daughter, I took her to see the movie, and they go back in time and change all the superheroes so that they don't become superheroes, and they tell Batman's parents, they're like, "Dude, don't go down Crime Alley, you dum dum." That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it can. It's funny. I get it, but they're almost pulling a Flash with his Flashpoint, which screws up the timeline every time he gets to Earth to save his mom.
Yeah, and then
Why?
and then they come back and all the villains take over, so they got to go back and put things right, so Starfire puts a pearl necklace around Martha and they shove them in Crime Alley.
Yup. It's just
Yeah.
like, oh.
So anyways, before we head off, is there anything that you want to share with our guests that are not on right now?
Well, it's like 11:30, almost 12 o'clock at
And
midnight.
It's Easter Saturday. I didn't expect anyone to show up, but the show must go on, as they say, right?
Yeah. Show must go on. No, so, I guess the only thing is I can say is feel free to come to Fanaticon and whatnot. May 15th. It's at the Rockville Convention Center, which is off the 401. So it's pretty close to proximities if you want like your fast food or whatever the heck. So it's not that, it's pretty close by.
And it's a pretty decent price. What is it, like $12 to get in if you
I think
advance?
it's $11 or $12 for the regular and like $15 or $20 for the VIP or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And it's like I've been going there for 3 years. I believe have you been going to the first one?
I didn't go to the first one because and whatnot. So
yeah, I know there's so many cons, and it's really hard to get to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But like I feel like it's like a whole different kind of animal. Like Lance has the cosplay show, and he has like a DJ there, and then you have, excuse me, our booth that has video games all set up, And then you have Cross Arcades. They have their own arcade set up. So it's like something I've never seen before. Because like when I go to Ottawa Comic Con, I'm like, I can't find video games there. Very like there's not very much selection. And then you got the Blue Griffin that's there. And I bought almost all my collection of PS2 games. Like great prices. I paid like $5 and I got a sealed PS2 games, the Legacy of Kain series, if you're familiar with that.
I've heard about it. Yeah.
The Soul Reaver, where he's like a vampire and then he kills off his lieutenant and his lieutenant becomes a Soul Reaver. And
Oh yeah, yeah.
it's like it was really well done because it was like a spin-off series that like basically they were woven into each other, and it's something I've never seen before, like growing up watching playing it.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like the PS2 was the golden age of video games. Like there were just so many games and so many great
I think
ideas.
I know the golden age. Speaking of golden ages, I know 1990s to early 2000s was the golden age for for Square Enix / Soft at the time for
Yeah.
Final Fantasy.
Well,
Now
that
we're
was
not.
when they did the what version was it? Sorry, I'm very bad because I didn't start following Final Fantasy until the the one with Cloud came out, which
That's 7, yeah. So 6 was really good on its own. Don't get me wrong,
Mhm.
but 7 like jump started the whole thing.
From what I've researched, that one was because they wanted the engine for the 64 wasn't able to handle what they wanted,
Yeah,
so
and
they
they went to
went
PlayStation for
the
it.
PlayStation route, and now PlayStation's been Final Fantasy.
Yeah, so basically from the 90s up to like a little bit in the early 2000s, so like around Final Fantasy 10, was the golden age of Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
And now we're reaching into the silver age now of Final Fantasy now, this for the next couple of years. Because for 14 online, it was Endwalker announcement, then 16 announcement. Then there's what's the other one? Then there was 7 remake, and then a 7 remake part 2 that's coming out. Intermission for 7 remake for PS5 or PC. Like, and it's almost back to back to back to back to back, right? So I'm like, holy crap, we're almost in a silver age for this. So sorry, I kind of got off track.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like silver age, golden age of video
and
games.
you also have Nintendo, which now owns Sonic, kind of. Isn't
Yeah,
it like
I
mostly
think
Nintendo, and then it came on to multi-generational platforms? It went on to Xbox and PS.
yeah, they have like a license agreement for Nintendo and Sega for that.
Which is kind of like, you have those exclusive games for exclusive consoles, like your Mario and Final Fantasy, and then you
Yeah,
have what is it? Final Fantasy for PlayStation, Mario for Nintendo,
yeah.
Master Chief for Xbox. I mean,
So yeah,
there's probably more if I get into it, but those were the main like ones that were for each console. And I kind of like the idea as people are like, oh, this console's better than the other one. But when
Flame Wars shouldn't be a thing anymore.
yeah, I know because when I first started my career, I worked in a group home, and
Okay.
the kids they had an Xbox and a PlayStation. So I got to play some of the Xbox games, like we played Left 4 Dead, which was the funnest zombie game I ever played, and then Call of Duty Zombies. So that
Okay.
got me hooked on those games, and they it's basically the same, just different game mechanics and graphics. Like
Mhm.
I really love the Switch, and I love how we got so many game places in Ottawa. You have Blue Griffin. There's another one on St. Joseph in Orleans. Can't think of the name right now,
Like a
but
comic and tabletop game store.
yeah,
Red Dragon.
it has like a wizard as their mascot,
Oh,
and
Wizard.
they sell video games, Pokemon stuff. I feel bad because they really helped me out for the last Fanaticon.
Okay.
Ah, Magikarta? No. This is bothering me. I will before I end this stream, I will find it because they're one of the only few ones that are left in Ottawa because we used to have more vintage video games Ottawa. Games Zetra, that's it.
Okay.
They were very like my order for all my Pokemon orders.
Yeah.
They came in late, so I didn't have them in time for a Fanaticon. So I called up I'm not gonna mention them because I don't like to bash on businesses because I know the feeling.
Mhm.
Sometimes you get fucked over, right? So
Yeah.
anyways, I called up this game store. They said, "Oh yeah, we have 10 booster boxes." I get there. Do you know what they did? They opened them all.
Oh, for singles.
Yeah, so they're like, you can have singles. I'm like, no, that's not what I wanted. You guys said there were 10. I have to drive with my kids an hour after school to get here, and they're all cranky. I mean, I get a little mad when that happens because, as a you know retail as much as me that when
Mhm.
you tell your customer that there's a good chance that we get these things and we can put them on hold for you, so we get to Orleans and we deal with that. I get out there, my wife's like, okay, what are we gonna do? The kids are pissed off and screaming, and I don't have my booster boxes, so I call Games Extra up
Yeah.
and I speak to the gentleman. I said, look, man, I know, do you happen to sell booster boxes? Because I saw that on your site. The gentleman says, oh, yeah, we have Evolving Skies.
Mhm.
So I asked him, I said, well, can you put one aside for me? He's like, no problem, but you can only put aside one. And I'm like, that's perfect. I just need one because I need something, I've done so many conventions. My
Mhm.
customers expect me to have Pokemon products and I
Yeah.
don't want to, not have them. So we had the, what do I, we had the the Evolving Skies booster packs and I had a whole bunch of tins, so I was able to sell enough Pokemon product to get through that. So I
Okay.
really liked Games Extra and Blue Griffin. There's a couple other independent ones at Fanaticon now, and it's so great
Mhm.
because we have so many, and I think there's some in in the Kingston area that are going in the
Uh,
Brockville area, your area.
like video games or just games in general.
Just retro video games that I from
There's
I
in
mean, I
games.
didn't look into it, but I think I saw, like, when Lance posts those posts about vendors that are coming, and I
Yeah.
see one that's video game related, and I'm pretty sure that they're from that area. But
There's Super Monster Games that does
mhm,
retro games
yeah.
in Kingston, but a bunch of the Action Packed, well, where I primarily do a lot of my other stuff locally, has some video games, but it used video game. Almost every comic card shop has used video games that are traded in or old ones because that's now the market's high for that, right?
Hmm.
But it's a touch and go market,
Hmm.
so.
Well, I think
But
like with places like marketplaces, you can
yeah,
get a lot of those old games pretty easily.
oh yeah.
Well, anyways, thanks for having you on. Is there anything that you wanted to share before we head off? I know it's kind of late for everyone.
Well, at least the video here will be saved on YouTube for later.
Yeah, they could see it for later.
Yeah. So what all I can say is, other than come by the booth for OSS at Fanaticon, feel free to check us out. We do have a Facebook page, as was linked earlier.
Yep, it's in the link below. If you click down, all the links to all our mentioned local vendors are in it, and our good friends at JLB Cannabis. I've known the owner since I was a kid. Guy's a real stand up guy, and he knows his stuff.
Yeah.
We grew up together, so I know this guy. I know his brother. He did our car. They have a shop around the corner, a car
Yeah.
shop. So he put all the tires on him, and he messaged me. He's like, "Oh, I put on your tires for my wife." I'm like, "Oh, thanks, Mike." I've like we grew up together. Like we would like I said, when we were playing Sonic the Hedgehog, I'd go over to their house and we had have snowball fights. Anyways, I'm just rambling on. I know
Yeah.
we're getting late.
Yeah,
Digger's got some really great prices and a lot of amazing products. Please stop by his shop.
Yeah, so basically, well, I work part time at the shop, but stop by Action by Comics in Kingston, Princess and McDonnell. There's parking in the back of DB. We have a huge assortment of stuff. Obviously, these days to get some product, COVID and shipping is not a good mix.
I know, it's just like so insane, and like I completely understand when someone tells me, "Oh, this is a shipping rate." I'm like, I know it comes through Canada Post, and I feel like when they send it, it's like for some reason I feel like Canada Post is a lot better. I don't know if that's your experience, but
But
I feel like I don't have to deal with the headache of having to wait for a FedEx guy to show up. I just go to my local what do you call it, shoppers that has a post office and pick it up. And now to show out limited run, their games goes directly to their distributors and they send it to me, so I just pay for the shipping, which is great.
but yeah, other tthan the ship itself, some things are delayed and it's kind of up in the air when they arrive. But yeah, feel free to stop by the Action by Comics in Kingston.
Well, I hope that the shipping improves for you guys. I know it's a real headache. Like I said, I've had that problem too, where my product hasn't come and it's not fun. And then you got to explain to your customer why their stuff isn't coming, and that's not a
and sometimes you don't have the answer for it too.
Yeah, and I know that guys like you that are vendors of that you work at the shop, that you guys put in extra effort. You guys are there at the beginning. You're online all the time answering my questions, because I know a lot of people that are looking for stuff, and I'm like, well, we got Digger here. He's got stuff. I'll give you the link. Like I think you're like me. You're always working.
Let's not go into that detail.
Let's move on. We gotta go. So definitely check out our friends and stop at every table, because there's always something there that you might not have thought of.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Well, thanks for coming on. It's been a pleasure having you on our channel. This is your second time, and hopefully, I'll do a little video of you for our Fanaticon for my TikTok channel. Follow me on TikTok, 8-Bit Shinobi. I didn't put the link in there, but we're on TikTok. We're also on the Fanaticon Brockville page. It has all the vendors, and you can interact with them and see what's there. You got a lot of celebrity guests and celebrity cosplayers showing up. A lot of fun. If you're watching this on the replay, check it out. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for coming on.
No worries. Have a good night.
8-Bit Shinobi signing out.